What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bring guys a brand new video. We're gonna be doing a mid fade on my boy, so stay tuned. We're starting off with our Goat FX, creating our first guideline, contouring to his head shape. You want to make sure not to press too hard and make the guideline too harsh, because then it's gonna be harder to take out. Don't be afraid to use your opposite hand to either stretch the skin or move the ear out of the way to give you more room to blend. Now that we're done creating our first guideline, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. You want to make this guideline around 1 inch thick so you can spread the blend. Once you're done setting in that guideline, you're going to then slightly close the lever midway and all the way close and attack that initial guideline. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to our 1 guard all the way open and create our third guideline. We're then going to use this same guard and its lever to soften up this line and get ready for the half guard. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to support the channel, go ahead and leave the super thanks down below, or go ahead and follow the Instagram. Now that the line is soft enough, we can move on to our half guard and erase the line completely. Also, just a reminder, don't be afraid to stretch the skin and give you more room to blend. Now that we're done with our lower guards, we can move on to our 2 guard all the way open and create our 4th guideline. This guideline is going to help us soften up this line and also get ready for the 1.5 guard. Now that we're done erasing the line with our 1.5 guard, we can move on to our 3 guard all the way open and debulk the parietal ridge. Now I'm using my 2 guard all the way open to blend into that 3 guard all the way open and get rid of that weight line between those 2 guards. Now I'm going to use the clipper over comb method to debulk and also make the fade as smooth as possible near the ridge area. Moving on to the back side, we're starting off with our no guard all the way open and we're creating our second guideline. Once we're done setting in this guideline, we're then going to slightly close the lever midway and all the way close and attack that initial guideline. We are right on top of the occipital bone, so you want to make sure you spend more time here and detail as much as possible. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to the 1 guard all the way open and create our third guideline. We're going to use this same guard and its lever to soften up this line and get ready for the half guard. Now that the line is soft enough, we're moving on to our half guard and we're going to use its corners and its leverage to erase the line completely. The high density of the hair follicles and also the occipital bone does obscure the fade, so you want to make sure you detail as much as possible here and make sure everything is even. Now that we're done with the lower guards, we can move on to our 2 guard all the way open and create our 4th guideline. This guideline is going to help us soften up this line and get ready for the 1.5 guard. Now that we're done softening up the line with the 2 guard, we can move on to the 1.5 guard and erase the line completely. Sometimes after using the 1.5 guard, there's still a faint line, so switching over to your 1 guard all the way open and using its corners would definitely help. Using our clipper over comb method, we're going to go ahead and blend the parietal ridge and make it as smooth as possible, connecting it to the sides. I'm using my vertical cuts to make sure I blend, and I'm using my horizontal cuts to make sure I debulk as much as possible. Here, I'm making sure the hair is nice and saturated and laid down and combed down properly. When doing clipper over comb, I always like to make sure the hair is a little bit saturated so it can hold it down and I can pick it up properly with the comb. When you're using the clipper over comb method, you always want to make sure you pick up the hair with the comb and then cut it with your cutting blade. Now that we're done detailing the fade, we can move on to the front line and go ahead and debulk the hairline with the one guard all the way open. Now that we're done debulking the front line, we can move on to our guard effects and start off in the middle, working our way to the sides. You want to make sure not to press too hard and also go slow enough that the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer, because if not, then the hair is going to shift and you won't line them up properly. You also want to make sure to keep the corners as natural as possible and not to go too deep in. You also want to make sure you keep the vertical bars as natural as possible as well. This will help the fade look more complete. Now that we're done lining them up, we can move on to our Turkish razor and Dermy Premium blades and make them as crispy as possible. But before we do that, we're going to make sure we apply some shave gel so that the razor can glide better. Once you put the razor into the blade, you want to make sure you stretch the skin as much as possible with your opposite hand and keep the razor at a 45-degree angle. This lowers the likelihood of you cutting someone. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to support the channel, go ahead and leave a super thanks down below or go ahead and follow the Instagram.